everybody doing? My name is Mark Wills. Every single Monday I come on, well, I try to, every single Monday to come on and try to help you build your notary loan signing agent business. You do not need to be a loan signing system student. All you got to do is come up with a question, and I'm going to do my very best to give you value to help you build your business. I am so thankful for you for taking the time out of your day so you can get a little bit smarter, because the best thing that you can invest in is someone else's experience, time, and knowledge. Sheila, what's that, girl? Good to see you.
Good to see you. How are you?
I am good. So tell everybody, I know your name, where are you from, and your name, and let's rock.
Okay, my name is Sheila McEwen. I am the sole proprietor of Sheila's Signing Services in Philadelphia, in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. My question for you today, Mark, is did a signing yesterday. Nerves got the best of me. I forgot to ask for a referral. Can I contact them today?
So are you meaning the actual signer or the signing service?
I met this actual signer yesterday.
I mean, look, the good way to always get back in somebody's ecosystem is just asking if you did anything wrong. Is there anything else you can fix or anything that you can help them with? So no, if you position it more like a follow-up, 100% that is okay. Now, the bigger point is this though, Sheila, is the signing, the odds of that borrower ever needing another notary is probably 1 in 100. I'm not anti you following up and making sure if they have any G and W needs, that they have Sheila's name and number. But that's not where the fish are. You always want to fish where the best opportunity for more is. So first thing you should have done this morning is followed up with the signing service.
Already did that.
Said, hey, I want to make sure that you know that everything's FedEx. I'm going to follow up tomorrow. Those are the most important things. Now, remember the ninja trick that I teach everybody. Who else is on there that you should probably be following up with?
With the mortgage company.
That's right. So where was the mortgage officer's phone number?
It is on the loan docs.
There we go. So what should you be doing also?
Following up with the mortgage company.
That's role play. What's the conversation sound like?
That I completed a signing for you today. I have I scanned back everything to the company, and I have sent the FedEx package back, and would like to know if you would put me on your preferred vendor list.
Yeah, I think the short answer is 50% there. It should sound something more like this. Oh, hi, my name is Sheila. You may not know, but I was a notary signed to your file this past weekend. I got everything to the lender, everything, the title that we need. You know, your borrowers were absolutely amazing. They couldn't say nice enough things about you. Anyhow, my name is Sheila. You have my phone number, so if I happen to miss anything, which I don't think I did, I just want to make sure you have my phone number, because I want to make sure your loan funds on time. All you did there was make it about you, Sheila.
Awesome.
Remember, what is the real thing? Why are you calling them?
To help them.
Help them. I heard nothing with them. Like, I want to make sure your loan funds on time. So if there's anything that got missed, any funding conditions, by the way, I don't anticipate that. But I just want to give you my name just in case it happens, because I want to make sure I was the best representation of you at the closing. See, if all you're saying is, oh, I didn't miss any signatures, you're not making them feel like you want to be part of their team. All you sound like was another notary. You got to be someone on their team. So I just want to make sure I represent you the best I can. I want to make sure that you are getting the best out of me, so this loan closes. You get a referral. Anything else you need, here I am. Does that make sense? Now,
it does.
Remember this, Sheila. You're a loan signing system student. You get the loan docs. What's the first thing you should be doing?
When I get the loan docs, I go through them and write down all the contacts are. I confirm the appointment with the signers. Then I had to reconfirm with the signingorder.com platform. And
do you think you might have reached out to the mortgage broker before the signing?
I didn't even think to do it.
And what could you? I'm role play. That's why you got a coach. What could you have said to the mortgage officer pre-close?
I received all the paperwork. Just wanted to introduce myself.
Keep going.
My name is Sheila McEwen. I'm with Sheila Signing Services. I'm the mobile notary assigned to your loan modification. Just wanted you to have my number in case you need me for anything.
This is landing. See, so many notaries try to do the marketing on the back end. When should you do the marketing?
And on the front end.
And
on the back end.
You know,
all the time.
You see, you're doing it on the back end, and you're like, well, how come they're not calling me? Well, because you only talked to them once. What if you called them 2 or 3 times?
So what if
you followed up today, what could you probably do tomorrow?
Send an email.
And do
Well,
what?
I'll make the phone call today, but then I'll send an email and a thank you tomorrow and ask,
See,
how I can be of service to them again.
marketing is multiple touch points.
Okay.
See, too many students touch one time and they go, well, how can they have called me back? Well, it's because you're not marketing your business.
Yeah.
Like, because marketing is multiple times that you touch them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But you call them one time and you're like, well, how come my phone's not ringing? Well, because you're not trying to build an authentic relationship. Does that coaching make sense?
Yes, it does.
If you really cared, like if you truly were a heart-led business, wouldn't you follow up like in 5 days and be like, hey, I just want to make sure the loan funded?
Okay.
I want to make sure that there's nothing that I did that prevented the funding of the loan. See,
Okay.
all business is about caring, Sheila. You still see it as a transaction. And that's
Okay.
what I'm trying to coach you is take the next step in your business.
Okay.
Because if you made the mortgage officer feel like you actually cared, what do you think would probably happen in the future?
They'll use me again because
But
they'll
yet
remember
you're
me.
getting frustrated that nobody's calling you back when you haven't tried to show how much you
Okay.
care. This should be happening on every single appointment. Does that coaching make sense?
Yes, it does.
See, right now you're still treating it like a transaction. It's not about a transaction. We're in the relationship business. That's what I teach you.
Okay.
But you don't take advantage of the signings to create a relationship. You should have called beforehand, not to get more business. If you're the mortgage officer, do you think that maybe it'd be nice if they had the notary's phone number in case something last minute came through? So why are you thinking like that?
I don't know. I just forgot it.
Yeah, but so the reason you're forgetting, and here's my coaching, is you're not caring enough.
Okay.
If you actually cared about because look, the way I built my business is just by showing everyone that I care. That's it. I'm thinking when I got a loan signing, I'm like, man, I think the real estate agent would probably want my number in case something last minute popped up.
Okay.
Man, the mortgage officer might want my phone number in case something, like I really thought about everyone involved. You take a signing and it's all about Sheila. I took a signing, what I'm trying to coach you here, is I took a signing and go, wow, who's everybody affected in this transaction? Okay, the mortgage officer, the escrow officer, the loan officer, the real estate agent. Okay, so what I want to do is give everybody my contact info in case something goes wrong. Now, boom, signing is done, right? Signing's away. I'm like, well, if I was the loan officer, would I want to make sure that my loan docs are in the mail? So all I thought about was them. I'm like, well, if I was the loan officer about to make money on the transaction, what would I want? And so if I can get you and everybody listening to put yourself in the shoe of who we're serving, then you're not forgetting. Because it's actually you're not forgetting, you're just not caring enough.
Okay.
You know, my job as your coach is to give you the stuff you don't want to hear and get you where you want to go. So remember, the only reason you're not thinking about this, Sheila, is because you're not caring about the mortgage officer yet. Because when you do, because this is hopefully an epiphany, is when you do, there's nothing to forget because you're now caring.
Okay.
Because if you were the mortgage officer, wouldn't you want to know if the loan docs are in FedEx? If you were the LO,
Yes.
right? If you were the LO, wouldn't you probably want to make sure that the notary was passing the information back and forth? Does that make sense? So
Yes,
my
it does.
coaching today, I'm so proud of the business you built. I'm so proud of what you got. But remember, the moment we stop growing is the moment we start dying. It's the truth. So let's keep growing here. Keep caring. Because when you care, people are going to want to work with you more.
Okay.
Like I come on here every Monday, right? And I do this why? And I do this why?
So you can answer all my questions.
Well, because I care. Does that make sense? So why do I like to think part of the reason why you love me is because you know I care, right?
Right.
So my point is I want the mortgage officers to love you for the same reason. All people want to do is work with people who care. That's it. Like if I was a notary coach who took your money and never talked to you again, what would you probably think?
I never want to talk to you again. Never use you again.
That makes sense. So the way I do business is what I want to inspire you with. Is all I do to every single person I come in contact with is to show them how much I care. Whether that's with my signing service, whether it's my notary coaching. If I can show you how much I care, everything else comes into place. So don't forget that in every transaction. So the only reason you're forgetting is still a little Sheila focused. Let's make it customer focused. And then if you're like, okay, if I'm the mortgage officer, what would I want? And then you would just answer that question. Well, I probably want to make sure I have the notary's phone number. If I was the mortgage officer, I'd probably want to know the loan docs actually signed today. I don't want to hear from title tomorrow. That makes sense?
Yes.
So I'm going to get you in that mindset, girl. You're going to make a ton of money, okay?
I hope so.
All right.
I know
Let's
so.
go.
I know
Bye. Oh my gosh, what a good conversation to kick this off with. Now, look, I want to, while we're waiting for more people to jump on, if you are a notary signing agent, if you want help with your business, you do not need to be a loan signing system student. Hit that plus camera button right there, and let's have a conversation. So let me wrap up with what I was coaching Sheila with. When you can make somebody feel how much you actually care about their business or them, they're going to want to use you all the time. That is the coaching. Is that landing for everybody? And so when Sheila says, "Oh, I forgot," well, my coaching to Sheila is that that's still me centric. When you put the loan officer first, the real estate agent first, the escrow officer first, then the follow-ups become natural. Because you're like, what would I want to hear if I was the loan officer? I would love to hear that the loan closing happened. And I would love to make sure that I got input on that today, not in 2 or 3 days. Does that make sense? I love this is hitting with Notarized Nikki. I love this is landing with Eugene. When you can really make the other person feel like you care, then the business comes naturally. Too many times signing agents make this a transaction-based business. It's about me. I got the order from SnapDocs. I executed the order. How come my phone's not ringing? Bro, the phone's not ringing because of that signing you just did. You're not putting in the effort to show someone you care. That's what this business is about. That's what loan signing system is about. I coach you to be a heart-led driven business. When that lands, everything clicks. Let's go. Brienne, oh, what up, girl?
Hi.
Always good to see that smile. How you been?
I've been good. How are you?
I am good. So tell everybody where you're from and let's have a conversation.
I'm from Goodlettsville, Tennessee, which is not far from Nashville,
Love
Tennessee.
it.
And I am an LSS student. I love you, Mark. You are so awesome.
Love you, girl.
Right now, where I'm at in my business, I do have my Ron commission.
Okay.
I do have my regular commission. I have my LSS certification. I have my Ron LSS certification. So I have my website and everything like that set up, my Google business page and everything like that. So right now I'm just waiting to get a signing from an order. I haven't gotten one yet. I've been commissioned since October. I just haven't gotten any that I've been able to do just because I do have a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just feeling a little bit discouraged just because I just haven't gotten that start just quite yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's coming.
Yeah.
But I'm just a little discouraged because it hasn't come yet.
Okay. So first off, thank you for the vulnerability. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being LSS Nation, all the above. Okay. So like I told Sheila, sometimes I'm going to say I got to be a coach and give tough love and also be your cheerleader. So here's a couple things I want to talk about.
Okay.
Is what I heard as an entrepreneur who is very busy, not an entrepreneur who is productive.
Okay.
So what I need you to understand is what are the biggest actions that are going to lead to the most opportunity or revenue. So you've done a lot of the legwork, B. Now here's where the difficult part comes. So I don't know if this is you, but let me talk through it. A lot of times we do the busy work because it's protecting us from doing the things that we're most uncomfortable with.
Right.
You're like, well, if I get this certification, if I do this, then it prevents me from picking up the phone and being like, hey, this is Bree. I serve everywhere an hour outside of Nashville, and I want to be your notary. Look, I get that takes a little nerves to get through.
Oh yeah.
But my
I got
coaching
my list right here of my people I need to call.
Yes.
So I do have that going.
Okay. So what I love about you is, so there's a saying, I didn't invent it, but let's just talk through it, right? There's the 80-20 rule. 20% of our efforts make us 80% of our money. You're focused a lot in the 80% of not making us money. I need to push you to the 20%. Now, in our industry, the 20% requires you to really get through that learning curve and that comfort zone. And so here's what I would tell you is your job now, by the way, I'm proud of all the foundation you built. Now it's time just to bite the bullet and be like, this next 2 or 3 weeks is going to suck. Be okay with it. you're a little discouraged because you have this mantra of like, if I will build it, they will come. You have to flip that. They come because I've built it.
Right.
And so you got to pick up that phone. Okay. Remember, you know, the weekend just passed.
Right.
Like if you would have, and that note page I just saw, if you would have wrote down the 5 open houses within 5 miles of your house, you could have went to 5 realtors in less than, my guess is 60 minutes this Saturday. But that's the hard work. You're like, oh my God, it's so nerve wracking.
Yeah.
So the biggest coaching I can give you right now is accepting the journey you're about to embark upon. And that's the effort, right? And that is the rejection. And so here's what I'm gonna tell you is like, I'm gonna start and end with this. Is like, I know you know what you're doing. I need you to know that. You have like 4 certifications. It's time to go out and start telling realtors like, hey, I'm Bree. I have multiple certifications. I want to help you. Okay. And that takes a little vulnerability.
Right.
It takes a little bit of like, they might say no the first 2 times. But if you look at the basic fundamentals of loan signing system, the students that make the most money just tell the most people.
You do say that a lot.
And let me wrap up with this, B, is like, you are the magic. Like you. And what I mean by that is in some raw speech, you can't be all things to all people. Like, look, some people watch us like, oh, Mark is too much for me. Like he is screaming, he is clapping. Like I do not want to be that dude's student,
Right.
but I don't change who I
Right.
am.
Right.
So my point is that's what I'm trying to tell you is you don't need to be someone else. Like you're going to talk to 10 realtors and 2 or 3 are going to love you. There are 7 who are not. There are people right now who are like not buying my course. But I'm not going to change who I am though. And that's my coaching to you. And so like, you don't need to be anybody else. If you're introverted, you're a little bit quieter, then you'll find people who vibe with that. You know, like I'll walk into an escrow office and I'll like kick down the door. I'm like, what's up? I'm Mark. And they're just like, like, no. But then I'll do the same thing. I'll kick down another door, like, what up? I'm Mark. Like, where have you been? So the key to you be is just be you. So sometimes I get students feeling a little bit nervous to go talk to a realtor, escrow officer, or whatever,
Definitely.
because they almost feel like they need to be somebody else. When I say just fall in love with yourself, girl, you're amazing. You know what you're doing. Your smile is contagious.
Thank you.
And then look, how many hours do you think you've put into being a signing agent? Studying hours. Give me a rough number. 40, 50, how many hours?
Well, I finished the entire course, the 6-figure course, and I'm like 51% way through the course.
So how many hours you think you put in? 20, 30, 40 hours? More or less?
I'd say like 30.
30 hours? Like, girl, why wouldn't someone want to work with someone who is so dedicated? They put in 30 hours of their life at their craft. So my point is, I want you to recognize the hard work you're doing. That's what's going to help you get out there. All you say to yourself is, I haven't got a signing yet. When I tell you, you put in 30 hours to be an expert, like, why are you like not screaming from the freaking rooftops? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So give yourself credit for what you've done instead of thinking about what you haven't done. Because I think you're focused a little bit on what you haven't done versus thinking about what you have done. And I like 30 hours is like who wouldn't want to work with you? But you just haven't told people that yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the next step, the next phase is just remembering how amazing you are and be like, yo, I put in 30 hours. I've worked around this. I have a family. Like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
And it's really buying into that is my coaching. Because when you do, you can be like, all right, cool, I'm ready. You just haven't bought into your greatness yet. And this conversation is hopefully helping you realize that there are notaries out there, B, who put in 2 hours and go out and tell the world. Like, you are so much more qualified than them. And so it's just accepting that, right? You see what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
like, the next step is, you know what to say. And look, let me tell you this too.
Okay.
I'm gonna be there, right there on your shoulder when you're going. Okay, like when you think you bombed at the script, they have no idea you did.
Right.
That's just you. Does that make sense? So go in there, and if you're like, I didn't get everything off my chest, or like everything, I memorized all of Mark's things, and I said 2 sentences.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
Yeah. I have my.
Just get. That's my point, girl. So your job, the biggest thing that's gonna sell you, B, is your smile. Like, so go show it off. I mean, this right here, this is what people buy. They buy our energy, they buy our enthusiasm, they buy our understanding. So like your smile is contagious, it's beautiful. You put in 30 hours. So the next step is to mentally prepare for the next part of this journey,
Right.
which is like, okay, I've done all the work, I got notes galore, but I gotta go say this bad boy. And look, I'm gonna end with this. Okay. Successful people understand that they can't be good at something they've never done. So let me say that one more time. Successful people understand that there's a learning curve. Unsuccessful people have an expectation to be good at something they've never done. So because they have this expectation, guess what they do? Nothing. Does that make sense? Versus a successful person's like, yo, I might suck, but I can't get good until I get through the suck. Do you see the difference in mindset? So so what I'm really trying to coach you on right now is just give yourself grace. Like you're not, the first two or three, you might bumble the first two or three, you might be sweating the first, like part of the journey.
Yeah.
So when you can kind of embrace that, everything else comes easy. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want a commitment. There's 100 people on right now. Okay. There'll probably be 2,000 people who watch this by the end. Okay. So my point is, in front of all these amazing notary entrepreneurs, can I get a commitment that you're going to talk to one person by the end of the week, whether that be call a signing service, whether that go to an open house, whether that go to an escrow office, networking event? Can I get a little hand that you can commit to everybody on here? Can we give a little clapping and emoji to our girl Bree? Okay.
10.
How many?
10.
10. Woo! Let's give her a fire emoji. Let's root Bree on because, girl, that you spoke for probably half the people on here.
Yeah.
Everyone's a little nervous. Everyone's a little shy, and everyone's doubting themselves just a little bit. So thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your honesty. And look, I do understand how you could be discouraged, but I think if you turn that discouragement into action, and are you seeing all the love you're getting in the comments, girl?
Guys.
All right. Check in with me next Monday and let's go.
Okay.
All right. Love you. Bye. Oh
Bye.
my God, my girl, Bria. Okay, so look, I mean, first off, look at the loan signing system nation, Bria. I hope you're looking at all this, girl. Before I move on, if you want any other help, jump in the comments right here. But remember, successful people understand that they can't be good at something they've never done. They get it. And they get, in order to be good at it, they just have to do. So the earlier you can really understand what I just said, the sooner you're going to make money. Now, let me say this crystal clear. The reason there's money for so many notaries is because most notaries don't do what's scared. Ooh, let me say that one more time. The reason there's business for you is because the notaries where you live are also doubting themselves, are also questioning themselves, and they're not doing it scared. So when you go into an open house, you're going to be the only notary ever to go into the open house. Mark my words. If you go into look, believe it or not, title companies are not inundated with notaries. They're not. Because A, they don't have scripts. If you're a loan signing system student, you have a script, you have multiple scripts. Or B, they're not giving themselves enough grace to be new at something. So go commit this week to use what is inside that course. We have tens of thousands of students making thousands of dollars a month. They're not better than you. They're just more committed at this point. So go in. I believe in you. Let's go. Woo, what a good day. What a good couple coaching calls. Let me get Patrice and then Carlos up. Patrice, what's up?
What's up? I
How are you?
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love your
Let's
energy.
go.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, Mark, I took your class, 3 years ago now?
Oh, I love it.
So when I know, right? I took the class 3 years ago.
Okay.
I was already doing loan signings because my background is in the mortgage industry. So I was already familiar with the docs and all that. But what I needed was someone to help me to market, and to get like knowing all the loan signing companies and all those different things. And then I still learned a lot from your class outside of knowing the documents that I already know. great. First of all, before I even get to my question, I just got to say kudos to you because you, my background is in sales and direct sales. When I tell you, you are a great motivator, you are a great teacher, not just spewing words, but giving people the confidence to actually go out and giving them tangible tools to actually use to be successful in the business, in the industry. And you just do a phenomenal job. Like I don't comment much or come on much or whatever, but I'm always, it's always someone watching. You never know who's watching. Someone is always watching. You just do a phenomenal, you're so personable. That's what it is. You're very personable. You're not like this far removed person that people can't connect to. And that's what we all want. We want to be able to connect and someone to understand the struggle, So I just want to give you kudos for that.
Girl,
Okay.
girl, girl.
Now we
You're
get
like,
to
I'm like tearing up. It's like 12 o'clock. God
don't
damn it.
cry. Don't
Well,
cry.
I
It's who
thank
you
you.
are, right?
That hit home. I appreciate you so much for saying that. And I've been
Yeah.
where you are, and so I don't want anyone. If I can help you through where I was quicker than the years it took me, then that's all I'm here for. So thank you for those
Right.
words, and I want to
Yes.
help you right now. So what's up?
Okay. So my question is, I get the signings, no problem. I don't have a problem marketing, going into offices, and that's not my problem. My problem is just my reservation is once I step into this office, because I have a part-time/time job as a flight attendant, so I'm gone quite
Right.
often. And I try to move my schedule around where I'm here for like 2 weeks at a
Yeah.
time, or I'm here 1 week, off 1 week, here 1 week. And I just feel so bad when they're calling
Yeah.
me. They're not even, they're like calling me saying, hey,
Yeah.
can you go? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even
Yeah.
do it. I feel bad. So I'm just trying to see how to,
Got you. You
you know what
ready?
I mean?
Got you. I got you.
Okay.
Yes, I know. Because this
Okay.
also happens. So this, what I'm going to coach you on, can also happen when you're on vacation, right?
Okay.
So the question is,
Yeah.
how do we lessen the blow that we can't commit to something that we've worked so hard to show that we committed to? So there's a little bit of an
Hmm.
oxymoron there. So here's the coaching. And let me give you coaching on a couple different levels.
Okay.
Whenever I used to market to a company, so let's say at the peak of my being a solo signing agent, I would be everywhere and I try to get all this business. And so so I'm trying to tell you the genesis of my coaching here.
Hmm.
And so whenever I'd market to a new business and I was in town and I couldn't take their signing, I felt a total sense of indebtedness and gratitude to the fact they would even call me. So
Hmm.
here's what I would do. And then it trickled on to everything else. So whenever someone called me brand new, and I almost knew I was over marketing, but because I was over marketing, it didn't make me any less appreciative of the business. So here's what I would do. I would literally go in the next day and I would buy them lunch. And they'd be like,
Hmm.
well, why did you buy me lunch? And I said, because I'm just so thankful you even like gave me an opportunity. See, most people go on and show gratitude only when they receive something.
Hmm.
So when you can show gratitude just for the opportunity, everything changes because notaries don't do that. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
when you're on a flight, be like, oh my gosh, send them a $5 electronic Starbucks card. Send them
Okay.
something. Does that make sense? And
Yes.
all you say is like, hey, I'm just so thankful you called me. I'm really bummed I couldn't do it, but just because you called me, I want to say thank you.
Okay.
That's going to create a deeper relationship than saying thank you when they actually gave you money. Did that work?
Right.
Because usually they only get something. We as humans, we only get something when we receive something. But
Hmm.
imagine somebody being like, why did you send me this? And you're like, well, because I'm just so thankful that you just gave me opportunity. And so
Hmm.
well, I did that from my heart because I was just like, oh my gosh, dude, like, I am so sorry I couldn't take it, but I want to say thank you. So if you want to call me up in the next 3 weeks again, I'm going to be that. And so I just
Hmm.
want to say thank you for the opportunity. And I promise you, girl, you're going to get 4 more phone calls for that gratitude than if you would have just given them something after they gave you money.
Okay.
So this is a secret I learned when just kind of giving from my heart. Like I was just like, dude. And so if you can just start having gratitude for every call, like a really deep sense of
Hmm.
it, then ideas like this just kind of pop up. And so just
Hmm.
really be like, really think from like, dude, like They called me right now. I'm 30,000 feet in the freaking air. And like this person over here, like trusted me. Like that should make you
Yeah.
feel so good that you should
Yeah.
want to show gratitude. Remember, gratitude is the physical showing of appreciation. Because I get a lot of students who are like, well, Mark, I said thank you. Well, anyone can say thank you. That's just
Mm-hmm.
showing appreciation. Gratitude, you can Google this. The little definition of gratitude is the physical showing of appreciation. So whatever that means for you, it could be a Starbucks card. It could be, when you come back into town, it's a mug that you make. I don't know, right? But
Right.
something to say thank you that you thought about me, even though I wasn't in town. Thank you. So
Right.
whatever that is for you, but it's one level past just saying thank you.
Okay.
Because I get, well, Mark, I said thank you. I'm like, well, everyone says thank you. What are you doing to like really
Mm-hmm.
show your gratefulness?
Mm-hmm.
And that's gratitude. So I think when people
Okay.
understand the difference between appreciation and gratitude, showing gratitude means you're going like one step past that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
that's your answer.
Okay.
So next time you get a call, show gratitude. I'm not biased to what that is. That could be when you get back into town, you're doing a face-to-face, which by the way, hint, hint, might be a little bit more powerful because now you have an excuse to go back in there to be like, hey, guess what? I'm in town.
Right.
So I actually think that when you come back from one of your shifts, that you have now, make some hand painted, whatever is in your budget. It doesn't have to be a Starbucks gift card. It could be something that you make by hand. But go in there. Now you have an excuse on why you're in their office seeing face to face. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
that just made me think what I could do because I don't make stuff by hand. But what I could do, I'm not that person. Like for example, when I'm in Rome or when I'm wherever I am, I could bring them
girl,
some of that.
woo, that is so money. Because why that's money is because it has so much more thought about it. I am pro
Right.
anything that has thought. Like I was in
Mhm.
Europe and I was thinking about you. They're like, oh my
Right.
gosh, does that make
Right.
sense? So
Yes.
I love that. And by
I
the
love
way,
it.
it could be a 99-cent keychain, but this was like,
Oh yeah.
this was literally bought in Rome for you because I am
Yes,
so thankful.
exactly.
So,
Yes.
such a good idea. And I love it because it has thought behind it. See, I am pro
Yes.
building authentic relationships. Anything that has thought,
Exactly.
and that's why that's better. The funny part is, I'm actually anti Starbucks gift cards. Like, I'm anti because
Okay.
there's no thought behind it. There's no like
Right. Yeah.
personalization.
But
It's
it's
like
okay.
anyone could, that's right. You're like, so I did that 3 seconds before I came in right now, you know, versus what you just said. Like, I am on shift with my day job in Italy. I could be doing anything, but I'm thinking of you. So
Right.
I freaking love that.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'm giving you a hug.
Oh,
And
yes.
go get him.
Yes, yes, yes. Love, love, love,
Bye
love,
bye.
love.
Oh my God. I hope everybody heard that from Patrice. Like the real key in business is showing authenticity. Like that's what loan signing system is, man. I don't give you manipulative scripts. I give you scripts, but they're not manipulative. They're just how do I bring value to you? When we realize, remember that what I teach you is business has to be a win-win. That means you win and who you're doing business with wins. When you really get that here, dude, like everything else just kind of falls into place. Like I was sharing with Patrice, like I was so darn thankful when someone would even think about me. Like just like they would call, hey Mark, can you do it 3 o'clock? I can't. And I'm like that person just trusted me with their job, with their loan docs, excuse me. And that led me to be like, what can I do to show this gratitude? What can I do? And so if I can get you to operate from right here, everything changes. Because then you don't really need to remember anything. You just got to think about what I want to do to show gratitude. And Patrice crushed it with that. Oh my gosh, what a good day. How's everybody doing? Let's go. Man, it is Monday. It is a beautiful day to be a signing agent. So glad you are here. Let's go with Carlos, my man Carlos. Always good to see you, brother. What's up?
Thank you. Thank you
Good.
very much. I had a
Did you hear that coaching I gave Patrice? I think you should get into that too, because I know you're trying to build your business. So even when you don't get the signing, show that gratitude. that's the next level, you know, because people are like, well, why did you just give this to me? I did nothing for you. That's when you get that real relationship building. So I know you're out there hustling, feeling. So don't forget about showing gratitude even when you don't get the appointment. But anyways, brother, what can I do for you today? Tell everybody where you're from. This is Carlos from the great state of what?
Florida.
Florida, man. We've got Pennsylvania, Florida. That's awesome. So talk to me today, Carlos.
Well, first, you're right. I mean, I forgot the gratefulness to the people who are direct hiring me, and just listening to you and to Patricia talk, I say, hey, I'm missing something. So I really have to put it into my agenda. So thank you for the reminder. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. So what can I help you with today?
Yeah, a curious thing happened to me a couple of days ago. I had two assignments, one at 10 o'clock, one at 12. And I got all my documents printed out for the first one. Okay. And in fact, for the second one too. And suddenly when I'm getting to the signers, this first signer's appointment, they call me from the signing service and say, hey, I noticed you did not download the documents. What do you mean? How did I not download it? Well, I downloaded it in the night, not that morning. And then these guys changed it, but I didn't know. Then things got a little bit more complicated because I never got a notification. I was checking text message. I wanted to make sure really what was going on. Yep. Effectively, and as per your instructions, the second signing, I just called to cancel because I had the feeling something I wouldn't have enough time to get that done. And then the lady showed me of the signing service, showed me that SnapDocs had sent the notification to my phone, which I did not receive. Who knows, any technological reason, but it simply didn't happen. So at the end of the story, I was late because I had to get back because it was 200 pages. It was not that you could go to an Office Depot and start printing like crazy. And the whole thing ended up like the signing is finished properly. The signing service was upset with me because I didn't download their documents. The signer, because I was late, you know, everything sort of went wrong, even though it was properly closed. Now, when I get the note from SnapDocs that the documents were ready, I assumed it was ready. I didn't expect that call that they would change it overnight. Yeah. So I just want to ask you, what's your feeling about how, if that's something that happens frequently? Yeah, good question. More than that, what do I do so I don't get it? It was very, very uncomfortable. It was really nasty for everybody. Yeah, yeah. Well, a couple things. I mean, the first and foremost is like you should expect bad days. And so the first thing I would say is, you know, like we as business owners should not expect every day to go flawless. So the first point I'm trying to make is that give yourself a little bit of grace on like, this is a one-off. And like, you're going to have another day like this, Carlos, in 4 months. It's like, there's days where I used to work at a restaurant, you know, in college. And there'd be days where the kitchen was just really slow and all the customers were yelling at me. Like, there's just going to be bad days. So if you don't expect those, then I haven't done a good job of setting you up as a business owner. So the first thing I would tell you is just give yourself some grace around the scenario, because this is going to happen. It's going to happen again. There's going to be another time when the loan officers are like, I told Carlos this. You're like, no, I didn't. You're going to get yelled at. Like, business is always going to be peaks and valleys, and do not expect valleys. Is just not helping your mindset. Does that make sense? So that's the first coaching I have, is like, this was the exception, not the rule. And you just got to be okay with that. You know what I mean? But here's what I'm going to say is the best way to deal with any, let me say it like this. The best business owners are empathetic. Okay. So when something goes wrong, the first thing I want to teach you is, what is the signing service owner thinking? Like, if the signing service owner was like, didn't get a notification, you downloaded docs, you should have some sympathy for them about that. Like, oh my gosh, I can totally see how you're panicking at 12 o'clock at night. So empathize with it. Now they're off the defense. Does that make sense? So the best way to handle any blow up is not defend, but empathize. And so, like, look, if I owned the signing service, if it was Melina, and Melina's panicking because
she hasn't got a notification, then Melina's thinking, oh my gosh, my client's gonna not use my signing service. So what do I got to do? Well, I got to double down and find another notary. So if you can tend to be sympathetic in those moments for who you're working for, you tend to take it less personal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So my coaching to you is the next time this happens, because all the signing service owner wants to know is that you're on their team. So the first words is like, dude, I can totally see how that would make you panic that you didn't get notification. So just know that I did, but I understand how this would make you panic. So what can I do to help alleviate you? Now they're actually going to use you in advance because they're like, wow, this notary's on my team. But what happens is that we as notaries, we become only sympathetic to us. I'm going to be late. I'm going to miss my next appointment. So therefore, we end up dealing with everybody else on the defense and nothing gets solved. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the next time this happens, man, just be like, deep breath in, you know what I mean? And be like, okay, because what you're trying to do at this point, Carlos, is what should be really going through your head is how do I salvage this for more business? Or if I could be more black and white to you, Carlos, and everybody on here, what you really should be thinking is how do I prevent them writing bad marks about me in the system? Does that make sense? So what you do is you become sympathetic, empathize. Man, if I were you and I owned the business, like I would be panicking too. I get it. And now they realize you're on their team. So if I can get you to do that, then you'll actually end up getting more business. And so that's the direct coaching, but the more macro coaching is this is going to happen again. And so expect bad days. I expect days where people want, I have like 14 emails, Mark, I can't get into my course when it's like user error. But I got to be sympathetic. I'm like, they just bought a course. They can't log in. I also would be panicking. So what I tend to do is like, okay, if I was a student, I get it. So I write back like, oh my gosh, this must be crazy. You can't get a course you paid for. So I just drop into their side.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I can get you to drop into the signing service side. Then you become a little bit relieved. You get more business in the future. And then at the end of the day, you're going to have bad days, dude. It's going to happen. They're going to be less than they are. Good. But if I can get you in that mindset, hopefully today's coaching helped a little bit.
Yeah, it's like taking the bad stuff and learning from it and getting something even better in
That's
the
right.
future.
All right.
That has always been your approach. I mean, when something, I always ask you questions of things that go wrong, my fault or not my fault, and I end up with the same answer. Yeah, it was a bad day, but you can learn from it.
Yeah.
So I really, really appreciate it. I enjoy being able to talk to you.
I enjoy talking to you, man.
I can appreciate the power of these coachings you give to people like myself who are a little bit experienced or those who are just lost trying to find their way.
Yeah.
So powerful. So all the blessings for you.
Blessings for you, man. Appreciate you, Carlos. Talk to you soon. Man, I love me some Carlos. I mean, what I love about Carlos, and I hope everyone's inspired, is he comes on once a month and asks me questions, And so make sure you take advantage of this platform because I want to make sure you are supported on this journey. What's up, girl?
Hey, Mark. Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing
Good.
excellent.
Okay,
I
tell
love
everybody
it.
where
I
you're
love it.
from. Tell everybody where you're from, and let's have a conversation.
Okay, my name is Freddie. I'm from North Carolina in the Charlotte area, and I'm new to the system and the team. I just completed the course, and just like everybody else, I'm finding my way. I have a question
Yes.
for you, Mark. How often and how long are the real estates available at the open houses? Are they there the entire time,
Good question.
or it's just a limited amount of time that they're there?
Good question.
And one more thing to
Yeah.
add to that. I went to like a community open house, and I thought you could walk up to the house and they will be in there, but it's not like that at some
Yeah.
locations. So with that being said, why is it so different with communities and just like standalone homes?
Well, you mean community like a new build?
Yes, a new
Yeah.
build.
Well,
Yes.
okay. So let me answer all that. I hope first of all, I just want to say congratulations
Thank
on getting
you.
to this point, girl. It takes so much effort and courage and bravery. So
Yes.
good work. Good work. Okay. So a couple things is a little hack on how to find open houses is by going to Zillow or Redfin and just searching open houses near me. So those will pop up. Little hack for you and everybody else watching. Now, 9 out of 10 times when it says open 1 to 4 on a Sunday, either the main realtor or the assistant or junior realtor will be there. So they'll be there 1 to 4. Okay. So open houses are the best way to get business because it's just mano a mano. The realtor can't go anywhere. They're like trapped. You're like, aha, get you. So, and for my introverts out there, why it's great is there's not a bunch of eyeballs staring at you. 7 out of 10 times you're going to walk in and there's going to be no one else there and you're going to have the realtor's full attention. So it's very introvert friendly because you don't have this weird pressure of having, 3 people behind a desk be like, who walked into the office right now? So I love open houses because of that. Now, what I'll say is this, the reason new builds are different. So let me just give you some coaching on new builds. New builds are the hardest people or entities to market to, but have the biggest waterfall. So here's why they're hard. Because new builds aren't led by realtors, they're led by salespeople. So there's a difference. See, the salespeople have to be licensed realtors, but they're not realtors on the side. They're just there to sell the model homes. So new home builds are the hardest to market to because you're really dealing with a super uneducated realtor because technically they're not even realtors. They're salespeople. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the entire process is different because it's not led by a realtor. It's led by a sales funnel. They want to bring in 45 people. They want 45 emails. They want 45 applications. So it's completely different. There's no relationship building. It is like funnel, 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 funnel. People are just numbers. And so that's why they're really hard. Now, let me give you some coaching on new builds. You ready?
Yes.
Everybody else take some pen and paper out. Okay. So new builds are the hardest to market to for what I just taught you. They're like, because they're not realtors. So they are really uneducated, like super uneducated, because they're just trying to sell every home, get a commission, then they move to the next community that the builder builds. So they're just like pawns. So they're hard because you're talking to someone who doesn't really get it. But here's the coaching. When you're talking to a salesperson, which by the way, the best way to get a hold of a salesperson is not during a community event, it's during like a one-on-one. So sometimes they'll have open houses for their model homes. You want to get early or leave late and be the first person. Okay. Now, here's the coaching on the conversation. They don't know what they don't know. So you literally say, hi, I'm a notary. You're probably wondering why I'm even here to begin with. You are probably used to sending the buyer down to the title office to have the notary sign. But did you know you could have the buyer sign right here in the open house location? How cool would it be? How cool would it be if the buyer signed in the actual house they were buying? Would that be cool? But you know that you may not know this, but as the salesperson and realtor, you can tell the title company, I want them to sign at my sales office because I want them to get the best experience. How cool would it be if they signed on the actual island of their kitchen? Like of their actual unit down the street. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. Yeah. So they don't know what they don't know. But so my point is you have to sell them on the grandiose moment you can create. Did that coaching make sense?
Yes.
Now, here's my coaching on the side is it's very hard. You'll get 1 out of 10 salespeople to get that on a new build. But if you can get that one person, we have students who will do a new build development and they'll do 10 closings in one day, all at the sales office. And they're like, oh my God, I'm gonna line up at 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're making $8,000 in a day. But full disclosure, doesn't happen that often. So here's my coaching is I don't want you putting a ton of time into new builds, but taking one swing is definitely worth it. But like getting overly focused on them is not the best strategy. Does that coaching make sense?
Yes.
But
Yes.
open houses with a standard realtor all day, every day, girls, how I built my business. Okay. So Make sure you go in and build it. Anything else for today?
That was
All
it.
right, girl. Well, congratulations. Keep building. I'm here every Monday. So let me know if you go into a new build, you get an objection, come back and let's keep working through this because I'm on your team.
Got it.
All right, let's go. Oh my God, what another incredible Monday with so many passionate entrepreneurs and business owners building their business. So let me end with this, and that same thing every single week is I believe in you so much. I do. Why do I always say that? Because I know how hard it was to make the decision to be here. Where is here? Be an entrepreneur, being scared but still doing it. That's what I know about you. So when I say I believe in you, I already know you're courageous. I already know you have guts. I already know you have what it takes to build this business. I need you to start recognizing it. Because hear me carefully on this next sentence. You cannot make someone else believe what you don't believe. So every Monday and every single time, I'm going to remind you how great you are because you are amazing. Every single home where you live, a notary has to be assigned to it, period. There's no reason why it can't be you. So when I say I believe in you, it's because I know what cloth you're cut from. We're cut from the same one. So I believe in you so, so much. Don't ever not believe in your greatness. So I believe in you, but I just can't believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Let's go! Bye, everybody. Go get them.